afternoon and good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Blind Press YouTube channel and coffee stream, episode 545. And it is Monday. I hope you guys are having a good day and had a good weekend. And I hope everyone who is a dad had a good Father's Day yesterday. And I hope those of you whose fathers have passed on were able to remember them in a fond, positive way. I know that sometimes that stuff is hard. So I hope that everyone was able to get through yesterday all right. And it is, as they say, Monday. Today is also a special day because it's Pincalo's birthday. So yay, happy birthday, Pincalo. And it was our oldest son's birthday on Saturday. So that was basically what we were doing on the weekend, was doing the birthday thing. And that was why there was no Star Trek stream and stuff. So yeah. I hope everyone, like I said, is having a good day. If you are ready to get ready or get right into the news and such, let's do this. I've got a couple of Gunfox stories, and I went and grabbed some stories myself. Not really much going on today, really global wise. Not even really disability wise. I checked. Oh shit! I thought I turned the light on. Thanks, Functional. That was an awesome way of telling me, Functional. Thank you. Spooky. Blind. In the dark. One stream. Circles. That was great, Functional. I love that. That was great. Happy Women Emancipation Day, Pincalo. Yes. And we got the oldest. He got one of those Amazon kids tablets, the Fire tablets. So he was very happy with that. Where's the one disability story that I wanted to grab? There it is. Okay. Yeah, there it is. So yeah, there's a couple of Gunfox stories I have, and a couple of stories that I found, including this disability story that I'm about to grab. Copy link, yes, please. Okay. Also, in case you had not read the description, the tips for exercise challenge has returned. So if you are of the mind and you wish to help me exercise, throw some money at Streamlabs and tell me whether you wish me to do squats, jumping jacks, or bicep curls, and I shall oblige you. Because the elliptical is making a horrible noise, so I will not be running on the elliptical for tips. Yeah, well, I've been marathoning Old Trek because Paramount is... Oh, are they taking it off Crave too? Why do I picture a fully grown Pincalo breaking out of the womb and his first words are freedom? Oh my god, I could see it. Freedom! Oh man, okay. So is Crave getting rid of it too? Okay. So let's do. Oh, you know what would help? Before I go to share the screen, it would help if I pick the story. I apparently need more coffee. Let's see here. Do, do, do. I had a lot of dishes to do, so that's why I've kind of been being don't know about Crave. Is Crave the TV one? Um Crave is Crave is a Bell Media thing, but it's also it's an app too. Like you can put it on your TV, yeah, but you don't have to have cable to have it. Like I don't have cable and I have it because I grabbed it through Apple TV. But that's where I've been watching Strange New Worlds. Where am I here? Yeah, that's where I've been watching Strange New Worlds. Is on Crave. Okay, let's start with the Gunfox stuff. Oh, I missed a couple of stories here from Friday. So we've got more. We've got some more disability stuff that we can read. So this is a story that I grabbed. Let's see. Crave, yeah, Crave is Bell's streaming service. Yeah. What was I gonna say? So this story that I'm gonna read first, I grabbed specifically because it reminded me of an InfoWars thing that I ended up debunking. Because InfoWars was saying that Canada was basically kowtowing to the Chinese social credit system in Canada for businesses. And I had actually gone to the Government of Canada website and done some very cursory searching and found a document that was basically warning Canadian companies about an impending social credit system that would be implemented for companies in China, that even if you were a foreign company, if you had an office in China, that at least that office would be subjected to whatever like social credit stuff was being done within the country of China under the communist the CCP. So that was what that document was saying. It wasn't. It's a Lord Famine. Hello, Lord Famine. It wasn't saying, Canadian companies in the country of Canada need to kowtow to the Chinese social credit system and like that, but that's what InfoWars was saying. This story from the American military news is basically confirming that document. What is that fucking echoing noise? Oh, my closet was still open somehow. There, that's better. Okay. I was like, what the fuck is that horrible noise? But it was my closet door was open an inch. Amazing what that does. So this story from the American military news is basically confirming this, except this is in regards to U.S. companies. And W.R. Costin. Hello, sir. So yes, this story is and this is a callback from about a year ago. I think Skep Talk and I were doing a Wednesdays with Skep back in God, it was months ago. When I saw the InfoWars article posted in the news for the Coffee Stream channel. And I remember talking about it and doing that research on the Canada government website. And when I saw this article posted in Discord this morning, I was like, oh yeah, I remember talking about this going to happen. So we're gonna take a look here. So China orders U.S. companies to set up Communist Party units to oversee firms, in new global enforcement. So this was in the document that I read on the Canadian government website. It was basically a warning to Canadian business, like Fortune 500 businesses, like large international companies. It was a warning saying, listen, this is going to start happening in a couple of years. The CCP is going to start including our companies in their shenanigans if we have offices in China. And this is how you protect yourself. This is, how you basically stay in the guidelines in China, and also, keep your business and all that's what that document was referring to. And this article seems to be confirming that warning. The Chinese government is preparing to enforce regulations on all fund management companies operating in China, including US-based. There's a lot of words here. Including US-based and other foreign firms, requiring them to set up an internal unit for supervision by the ruling Chinese Communist Party (CCP), which, as a foreign company in a free and democratic nation, that has to make you feel a little uncomfortable. And at what point, as a business, do you say this is not worth your money? Right? When do businesses that are not Chinese businesses but have offices in China and Hong Kong, when do they say, right, no, enough. I'm not a Chinese company, and I would rather lose your business than operate under your laws. How many businesses are going to take that step? And how many businesses are willing to, because it is going to hurt them initially, like that pullout will hurt. But China's not the only nation on the planet, and I'm sure the more businesses that stand up to this and pull out of China, the more people will be like, oh wow, look at what these businesses are doing, and maybe they'll follow suit, and like we could start commerce without China. Taiwan number 1, China number 4. Hello, Duck Dog. The banks need to pull out of China. Well, at least my bank needs to pull out of China. I have no desire to switch banks. Royal Bank has enough fingers in enough pies. Yeah, Royal Bank is everywhere. quite frankly, I really like my credit union. I'm not really very happy with the individual I worked with when I did some investing, but that's the individual's fault. That's not the bank's fault. For the most part, they've been really good with me. Um, but the individual I worked with, she was very like set on what investment I should do. Um, wouldn't like was very disrespectful about my blindness. It was a shit show. Howdy, Gun Fox. China is asshole. Okay, let's see. In May, the China Securities Regulatory Commission, sounds great, in brackets CSRC, implemented new changes to its industry rules governing publicly offered securities investment funds, igniting or sorry, offering. Let's try this. Governing publicly security. Wait, this is business stuff is confusing for me. I'm trying here. Governing publicly offered securities investment funds ignites Asia, an extension of Financial Times first. It's the. This is hard. I need to get my health card picture taken sent to the ADP people. Where am I? According to Ignites Asia. Oh, Ignites Asia. Okay, is the fund major? Is the thing? Is the company? Um, Ignites Asia, an extension of Financial Times, first reported this week that one of the Chinese Security Regulatory Commission (CSRC) implemented or that I'm sorry, keeps it keeps bouncing. It reported that this week, one of the provisions in the new CSRC rules requires companies to establish a CCP apparatus within their companies. Yeah, no, screw that. That makes two of us. Yeah, I'm going. Investments just confuse me. Yeah. I pay someone to deal with my retirement account. Yeah. Now that there's more people here, remember, guys, tips for exercise is on and ready. So if you want to make me do squats, jumping jacks, or bicep curls, send some shekels to blindpress.net and tell me which one you want. Because the elliptical is making a really loud, like, noise, so I'm not going to run on it. Okay. Fund management companies shall, in accordance with the provisions of the Articles of Association of the Communist Party of China, establish party organizations, carry out party activities. Holy shit. Carry out party activities. Where am I here? And provide necessary conditions for the activity of party organizations, the provision states, according to a translation by Ignites Asia. In quotes, state-owned fund management companies shall, in accordance with relevant regulations, integrate party leadership into all aspects of corporate governance and include party building work requirements into the company into the company's articles into the company's articles of association, so as to implement the legal standard of sorry the legal standard of party organizations in the corporate governance structure. How about fuck you? How about keep your bullshit to your companies and we can all just leave and trade with each other, and you can fuck off, China. How about that? My wife is mad at me because she might be knocked up again. Dude! My dad was a freaking genius when it came to budget. Oh, yeah. It's like the EU forcing Canadian companies to comply with their standards. Yeah. Dude, go get snipped. It's less invasive for you than it would be for your wife, and you're in and out. You don't even get put out. And then you don't have to like worry about getting her knocked up. You don't have to like she doesn't have to do birth control. You guys can, go raw. You don't have to do any worrying. Hey, adults gotta have fun, right? Exactly. Just tie your dick in a knot. I know someone who got snipped on their lunch break. Yep. Hi, Mr. Goat Man. All right, let's see here. Yeah, seriously, China, you can go fuck off. According to Ignites Asia, other broader national laws in China require all companies in the country, including foreign firms, to establish internal CCP organizations. But those laws have been largely symbolic. The new rules specifically stating or governing fund companies come as major US and international investment firms are working to bring branches of their business to China. Well, stop doing that. Stop working to do that. Work to do the opposite of that. Stop funding communism. Besides the deal with 6 kids. Oh, God. Okay, almost enough for rugby. Yep. Yeah, I wouldn't like I honestly when I was younger thought I only wanted one, and now I'm honestly sad that we're not going to have 3, but between the way that my back is and the way that my like mental health gets after I give birth, like my postpartum period is really bad. Like it's really bad. Um like to the point where I need for the first like 4 or 5 months I need somebody there with me because I get ridiculously depressed ridiculously quickly. My fuse is really short. I'm a mess postpartum. So it's just not a smart idea to have a third. Because the amount of stress that I would have with the older 2 and then the baby and then the postpartum stuff. I would it would be a recipe for disaster. So I'm glad your wife doesn't have too much issue. That stuff can be really rough. So I'm glad that she's able to uh to get through it all right. Let's see. What else does this have to say? Um, so yeah, legal experts have spoke with Ignites Asia, uh, are saying that the CRS or the CSRC rules are meant to bring stricter oversight to the investment sector. The new rules could raise the fiduciary risk to be foreign investment firms, including those based in the US. No shit. In other news, water is wet, gravity exists, and the sky is not actually blue, but a way that we perceive it through the way that light reflects through the atmosphere. I'm sorry, are there any other obvious statements we're making today? Oh, your mom moved down there. Oh, that's awesome. Postpartum depression is evil. Very evil. Yep. Oh, my morning sickness was also bad. My morning sickness it wasn't as bad with the second one, but still, like anytime Pincalo cooked anything, I was like, okay, that smells horrifyingly bad. Even if it was something I liked to eat. Like, or when I would cook, I'd be like, okay, breathe through your mouth. It was. And the dirty commie bastards are trying to take over the world by virtue of buying it all. Yep. Yep. You have a lot of homework in Discord. I do. So that's that story. Freaking China's being China and um making companies freaking follow their laws. And I mean, like, there's a difference between following business practice laws and um like, could you imagine if we as Canadians insisted that companies like American Eagle, um or what's another one that comes up here, um Apple, for example, or Amazon, or anything that has an American base. Could you imagine if we made them like made a law that said that every morning any worker that, like, even if they were an American worker, you every morning you had to stand and look at the Canadian flag and sing the anthem, and um like every time there was an election, you had to American based firms had to you know pay election dues to specific party. Like, could you imagine if we did that shit? Like, no business outside of Canada would be here. None of it. But it's okay for China to do it. It's totally fine for China to do it, but God forbid, like, oh, it's so stupid. And it's so wrong. Like there's a difference between following common business practice laws in a country and demanding that any foreign investment firm in your country take part in any political matter. Like that is nonsense. That is absolute nonsense. In Japan, the workers do before shift stretches. Well, China is doing mass killings, but the media doesn't talk about that. Yep. Did I do something with my camera? Oh, the monitor was moving. There we go. That better? My desk was a little bit... I bumped it by accident. Where is the headline? Headline! Where are you? I just want the headline of this article, please. Why must it be buried under links? Okay, finally. California bill would require gun owners to buy liability insurance. I didn't know that guns were now vehicles. Okay. Right. Okay. California would be the first state to require gun owners to buy liability insurance to cover the negligent use, the negligent or accidental use of their firearms if lawmakers approved a measure announced on Thursday. The accidental or the negligent or accidental use. How do you accidentally use a firearm? I could understand the term accidentally discharge, but to use a gun, the implication of the phrase use a firearm implies that you first pick up the gun, aim the gun, and then pull the trigger. Okay? None of those things are an accident. Now, if you have the words negligent use of a firearm or accidental discharge, that would make more sense. I could break you an exercise, you know this. That's true. You could. I'm scared. It carries like $2 million in liability. Oh, okay. Guns kill more people than cars. Is that moron completely brain dead or high as hell? Yes. Because because regardless of what happens, if you shoot somebody in self-defense or not, you're going to be arrested at the start. Yep. I have accidentally discharged in my wife. I should be scared. Uh-oh. Why are there incoming Streamlabs donations for exercise? Should I go get my weights? Okay, let's see here. Quote, guns kill more people than cars. Yet gun owners are not required to carry liability insurance like car owners must, State Senator Nancy Skinner, Democrat, of course, Berkeley, said in a statement. Uh, First of all, guns do not kill anybody. People holding guns, pulling the trigger, kill people. Okay? Next item. Are you seriously trying to tell us that even with mass shootings, that gun deaths outrank car accident deaths, or heart attack deaths, or cancer deaths, or many other things that I could think of? Not yet, but could be. I am scared. She said the cost of gun violence should be borne by taxpayers, survivors, families, employers, and wait. She said, oh, shouldn't. She said that gun violence shouldn't be borne by taxpayers, survivors, families, employers, and communities. Quote, it's time for gun owners to shoulder their fair share. Of course, that fair share phrase. That fair share phrase, of course. The state of New York is considering a similar requirement in the wake of numerous mass shootings and a rise in gun violence. In January, San Jose approved what is believed to be the first such insurance requirement in the United States. No insurance company will cover the misuse of a firearm, predicted Sam Paredes, executive director of Gun Owners of California. Yeah, probably not. Probably not. Oh, hard bastard, yeah. Let's see. He said such requirements are an illegal infringement on gun owners' constitutional rights. Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's an infringement on constitutional rights. Like, if you're gonna have a gun, it might be a good idea to have extra insurance, like, just in case you do have to defend yourself. Like, what if you need money for legal defense? And because I doubt homeowners insurance would cover that. So I could see how an insurance could help. I'm not entirely sure that it would infringe on your rights. Unless they're like, you can't walk out of this gun shop with your gun unless you have insurance, even if you are licensed and pass the background check. That I would have a problem with. I like his commentary, but man, sometimes he's so far up his own ass. He can be. Let's see. Skinner is amending an existing bill on another topic to allow gun owners to be held civilly liable if their firearms are used to cause property damage, injury, or death. Isn't there already legislation that would cover that? Like, I'm pretty sure there's already legislation that covers civil responsibility for wrongful death. And I don't think it matters how you died. If you wrongfully died and it was proven that it was negligent on the party that you're suing, I'm pretty fucking sure that you win. Whether it was a gun or a car or Oxycontin. Oh my god. Oh my god. People are stupid. It still amazes me that they don't understand the phrase shall not be infringed. Yeah. Yeah, let's blame car companies for death via an accident. Yeah. I know. Yes, it's all the car maker's fault whenever somebody drives drunk. Just like it's the alcohol company's fault. Ugh, people are stupid. Okay. Let's shift topics and read some disability stuff and see if we can get just as angry. God damn it, I have an itch on the inside of my nose. I hate that. Okay. Let's take a read at this story that I didn't get a chance to read on Friday. No, I just want to go to the thing. Where's the link? I just want to read the fucking thing. Are you not going to let me open this in Chrome? Bastard. Come on. Won't let me open that one. That's annoying. Okay. We'll have to try un different story. So we're going to read a story about some actual domestic violence from somebody who survived actual domestic violence. Their partner was actually convicted of domestic violence. So yeah, we're reading this story because we've all been exposed to a big bullshit lie about domestic violence recently, Amber. So we're gonna take a look at an actual story about actual domestic violence and read about that. So I don't know if anyone follows the NL or the National Baseball League, but this is a story about Amy Kaufman, ex-wife of sports writer Jonah Carey. Amy's story: after escaping domestic violence, sports writer's ex-wife speaks out to help others. Yeah, probably because she was watching the trial of Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard like the rest of us, going, "You absolute bitch." How the fuck could you do that? Let's see. Have you tried Upper GX? I have not. But it's okay when politicians start wars and millions die using guns. Yes. It's true. Insurance as an idea is okay with me, but in practice, though, it's nothing but theft. Yeah, the way it's done is bad. And she may be thinking she might step into Amber's shoes and get that ambassadorship. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. So let's see here. So this is published today. Warning! This story contains graphic details of intimate partner violence. Baseball's policy on domestic violence and sexual sexual assault, covers 70 paragraphs. Victim support is limited to 5 of those paragraphs. That's kind of shitty. The policy was negotiated between the commissioner's office and the players' union with confidentiality at its foundation. The process often is distilled into a stream of carefully crafted statements and social media posts. And then we move on. That can be true for victims too. Under the policy, Major League Baseball offers to connect victims and families with shelters, outreach facilities, experts in domestic violence, and family counseling, and with a 24-hour hotline staffed with English and Spanish speakers. As a baseball community, would our attitudes toward domestic violence change if we heard more stories and fewer statements? Probably. But we also need to be careful about hearing stories because, as we've all just seen, hearing stories and taking them at face value is sometimes incredibly damaging for the wrong reasons. Could how fans feel about a player suspended for domestic violence depend largely on how valuable he is to their favorite team? Should NLB subsidize a family depending on the income of a suspended player? For a player or for a coach, executive broadcaster, or writer? How many strikes should you get before you are thrown out of baseball? Unfortunately, probably, to be fair, 3. Just to be fair, probably 3. Because it's 3 strikes, you're out for felony charges. I would. If you're gonna do that for felony, including murder, then you've got to do it for stuff like this. Amy Kaufman. That's a picture. No one should be compelled to tell his or her story. Amy Kaufman would like to share hers. Her abuser worked for a media outlet whose parent company also owned the Toronto Blue Jays. He was suspended upon his arrest and later dismissed in baseball. Cases of domestic violence and sexual assault need not involve players. 16 major leaguers have been suspended under the MLB policy. Most recently, the Dodgers' Trevor Bauer. Oh, keep moving for 1 minute to earn progress towards your stand goal. Stand up. Okay. So this guy, I think this guy was actually in the news. There was video of this dude, the elevator video where he's like headbutting his wife and or headbutting a girl and spitting on her and all that. That was him. That was this Jonah Carey guy. The answers cannot be simple because the stories are not simple. You might have heard of Kaufman's abuser, Jonah Carey. Sorry. He wrote a book on the rise of the Tampa Bay Rays and another on the history of the Montreal Expos. Carey, 47, covered baseball for a variety of media outlets. Most recently, The Athletic and Canada's Sportsnet, and hosted a podcast for CBC Sports in March. He was sentenced to 21 months in prison. So, unlike Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, Amy did go to the police when she was abused, and she did obtain actual proof and evidence that she was being abused, so much so that a court found him guilty criminally and is sentencing him to 21 months in prison. He is scheduled for an initial parole hearing next month. You might have seen him in a video that captured him attacking Kaufman in an elevator, butting her head, hitting her, biting her, and spitting on her. A few days later, she married him. If I call it off, Kaufman said, she thought at the time, he's going to kill me. And they're like, unlike Amber Heard, you know, if you've got actual video evidence of this guy, if he's gonna do shit like this in an elevator where there are cameras, like, he very well may kill her if she calls it off. So after the third time, yeah, you gotta hang. Yep. Yep. I'm all for public hangings. Yeah, well, it depends, man, on what the person did. Let's see. Jonah Carey and Amy. Oh, sorry, that's a picture. Kaufman, 38, and Carey had started a long-distance relationship in 2016, not long after her mother died. Floral bouquets, love letters, and romantic vacations shortly followed. Sounds like your classic wooing phase. You'll see it with abusive partners. When they get a new person, the first year is, I love you, you're amazing, here's everything you want materially, let's go on vacation, I'm gonna pay for everything, I'm gonna open doors for you, I'm gonna, whatever you want, I'll buy it for you, we'll stay up, if it's a long distance relationship, we'll stay up talking on the phone all the time, and we'll text all the time, and blah, blah, like all of this shit. It's classic. When times were good, Kaufman said in an interview with the Los Angeles Times, it was somewhat too good to be true. Yeah, because in a real abusive, this was the problem with Amber's testimony. She And people like the lawyers that were commentating on the trial that I was watching, they kept saying this too. It was like she was portraying a part of a victim, and she had just her research on abuse victims was she watched Law and Order SVU or something, and like pasted together all sorts of different parts of victimhood, but didn't have the whole picture. Um, and part of that picture, like part of that, pasting was she did say, oh, when things were good, it was amazing and blissful and blah blah blah. Let's see. Yeah. By year 3, I hate the way you breathe in and out all the time. Carrie soon told Kaufman he was moving from Denver to Montreal to be with her. He didn't ask first, she said. Oh, that's a little bit aggressive. He wanted to meet all her friends. He said he would take away all of her financial stress. She could quit her job and work on his podcast, and she would handle all of and he would handle all the money. She could take care of her sick mother, he said. Yeah, this is classic. This is classic. Um and now he would take care of her. Yep. This is classic fucking malignant narcissist behavior. All that can sound lovely, but to experts in domestic violence, that can sound like an alarm. Yep. Domestic violence at its core is about power and control. Exerting power and control over someone, said Aaron Smith, executive director of the Open Based Family Violence Appellate Project. A lot of times, once he knows friends and family, he can start slowly cutting others off from them. Why are they saying he? Why do they not say the perpetrator or the abuser? I don't like that. I don't like that. Taking over the communications, taking over the social scheduling, basically making them even more dependent and powerless. Domestic violence is about all of that and not just about physical violence. In 2018, Kaufman was pregnant. The wedding was approaching, and she said Carrie suddenly started confessing to previous relationships and encounters. He had charmed her, so no doubt he had charmed other women. Probably not. No, yeah, she's probably right. Where am I here? Yet she became concerned, not because she heard any stories of violence, but because of what she perceived in a imbalance of power dynamics with the women involved. In turn, she said Carrie suggested she had become more interested in shaming him than standing up for him. What? Dude, if you're confessing to like Since when do I have a news channel? Oh, for a longer than the gaming stuff, yeah. Let's see here. The violence started soon after while she was pregnant and even after she gave birth in what the Quebec court called an agreed statement of facts. Carrie acknowledged 14 incidents in less than 7 months. Much different than Amber Heard's story. This guy was like, yeah, I did it. During these incidents, the judge wrote in his ruling, the offender punched the victim in the knees, hit her on the head and on her ears, pushed her, dragged her on the ground, slapped her, bit her, spat in her face, headbutted her, shook her, pulled her hair, and grabbed her by the shoulders while threatening to throw her off a balcony. That sounds a lot more like domestic violence than the bullshit Amber was talking about. Like a lot. But did she have any amica cream? And a bruise kit. Oh, God. Not all the days were filled with violence. Some were filled with peace. Some with counseling. Some with promises of better days to come. Of course. One of those days was the wedding day. The husband of her best friend approached her with the wedding gift. She was not given a brightly decorated box. She was gifted a $1,000 promise that he told her quietly would cover the first hour with the lawyer when she left the relationship. Wow. Wow. Holy shit. When your best friend's husband on your wedding day comes up to you and takes you aside and like hands you a card and goes, here inside this is a check. This is going to cover your attorney's fees for the consultation because shit's going to get bad. Like that's fucked up. That is fucked up. What a piece of shit to admit to doing all this stuff to her. Oh, yeah. She had thought about it all the time. She had confided in her best friend. That friend had told her, check in with me every night or I will send my husband to your home to check on you. That's what me and my best friend would be. Like if one of us was in trouble like that, if we lived closer. She had started to collect what later would be used as evidence. The elevator video, photographs, voicemails, emails, and more than 34,000 text messages. Holy fuck. She had gathered this documentation. She told the court, quote, to try to keep Mr. Carey from getting custody of my baby in the event that he killed me. Holy fuck. That is this is the difference between this story and Amber Heard's story makes Amber Heard look even fucking worse. And the fact that this is there is no coincidence that this is published right now. I am telling you right now, there's not even going to be a mention of Amber Heard in this article. I bet you there doesn't need to be. And I guarantee you we're going to start seeing a lot of articles like this where domestic violence stories are going to be shared, and they will be of stories of like convicted people criminally, and they're going to start coming out. We're going to see this all summer. I'm guaranteeing you that's what's going to be happening here. Oh yeah, Leon. Pincolo actually streamed on Twitch to his channel last night. He was playing World of Warships, and he watched the Dateline, like the clipped NBC interview with her. It was crazy. Let's see. I'm either being attacked by a giant spider, or the tree out back has developed a strange sense of humor with its shadows. Fury, have you been reading from the Necronomicon again? What have I told you about reading from the Necronomicon and waking up the demon trees, Fury? You're not supposed to do that. That's bad. In text messages from that period, Carrie's emotions shifted so unpredictably that Kaufman said the texts left her, quote, completely destabilized. In one text string, Carrie wrote the words, quote, sorry, 17 consecutive times. Okay. In another message, he wrote, quote, I'm an abuser. If I'm nice for 3 weeks or 3 years, you will always jump on me. The second I'm not syrupy sweet to you. It's too much pressure. Find someone else. I wish you all the happiness in the world. Oh. Huh? That is so fucking manipulative, dude. But, Mom, it was only a little incantation. Even worse, the media is playing along with it. Yep. Oh, the video for the interview has got hit for copyright? That's funny. That's interesting. In a separate message, he wrote, fuck you for making me feel like garbage every day. Fuck you for ruining me. Dude, you're the one physically harming the mother of your child, and she's okay. You're a fucking narcissist, buddy. All the while, Carrie kept up with his work, at times walking down the hall and into his room, literally flipping a switch and cheerily welcoming listeners to his podcast. Matchup dates. Matchup dates from the statements of fact to the headlines of Carrie's CBS Sports posts, and a portrait of emerges of a highly functioning abuser. Yep. Let's see. So this September 23rd to 24th, 2018, Mr. Carey bites Mr. Kaufman or Miss Kaufman in the face. Are you a fucking animal, dude? So the day he bit her in the face, he wrote a cheery article. October 17th to 18th, Mr. Carey then holds Miss Kaufman by the head and headbutts her in the nose. They hear a crack, and Miss Kaufman yells that he has broken her nose. Same day, he posts about he writes another sports post. Same day. January 24th, 2019, Mr. Carey threatens to kill her as he believes that she will call the police. and ruin his life. Same day. Oh, sorry, next day. He posts an article about the MLB and the agency. What Kaufman learned, she said, is that anger management is not the appropriate treatment if you are the only target for that anger. No, it's not. As far as I know, Jonah did not fight anybody in the press box, she said. This was behavior that could be controlled, that could be turned on and off. Yes, because he's a fucking... All of this behavior makes me not want to find a relationship. Like, what if I accidentally find that one who's an abuser? No, don't be scared about that, Leon. You gotta, like, and the stupid thing is, Leon, is that nowadays people are so quick to, like, from the outside in, they're so quick to look at a relationship and maybe they'll see somebody on their bad day, or they'll hear about an argument, and they will try to convince their friend, oh, it's an abusive relationship, when, like, there's a lot of actual abusive relationships going on that people don't have the support, or they do have the support but they're scared, but it's a lot of relationships, there's a lot of this, quick to cry abuse when there's no abuse, and refusal to see abuse when there is. It's sick that our society right now is stuck in this backwards viewpoint where when you claim abuse, rightfully, of course, you have to prove it. You can't just go around saying people are abusing you. But there is this quickness to say that you are being abused when you're not right now in society, or to say that you're being oppressed when you're not. But then the minute that you are actually being oppressed, or abused, or discriminated against in some way, you are, nobody believes you. But when you're not being abused, there are people around you who will say that you are, or even you yourself, maybe you're an Amber Heard and you're gonna lie about it. Like this backwards. Yeah, Pincolo's right. He says, look at us. If people saw us on our bad days, we would be in jail. We would. Both of us. Because we would be both accused of domestic, and we don't even hit each other. It's just how we speak to each other. But we would be accused of emotionally abusing each other. Because when we fight, our fights are not good. But we love each other, and we know that that's why we fight like that, because we love each other. And because we want each other to be the best person that we can be. And yeah, it's very weird, this position that we're in society, where the minute you say it, and part of this spot that we're in is because of the Me Too movement and the overwhelming, believe her no matter what she says. Her accuser is guilty until proven innocent, which is wrong. But it has absolutely harmed actual victims of actual violence, regardless of their genitals. The quick jump to, and am I saying every case in the Me Too movement was false? No, absolutely not. But are there definitely more than one false allegation in the Me Too movement? Oh, yeah. Are there more than 10? Oh, yeah. Are there more than 20? Oh, fuck it. There are way more than there should be. way more false allegations than there should be. And it's because of society's, of course, people don't want to look at somebody who says they were raped and go, you're lying. Like, nobody wants to do that. But because these crazy people have done that, now we are in this position. And we have to share stories like this Amy Kaufman story, so that we can go, look, this is what actual abuse looks like. Don't believe crazy lying psychopaths like Amber Heard. Okay, I think I've ranted enough for today. So, thank you for watching, everyone. I will be back on Twitch tomorrow night, and Pincalo fixed the chroma key issue, so camera will be back on. And yeah, so come by Twitch tomorrow night for Beat the Blind Girl. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your Monday. And thank you for watching. I will see you tomorrow on Twitch. Bye.